Hi friends, it's Nancy. Another little golden book Christmas journal to share with you this afternoon. This one is Frosty the Snowman, and I've used a vintage little golden book for this. The spine is 2 inches and it's blue velvet fabric with some lace. I wanted to make it really frosty and icy looking. And the corners were slightly soft, so I just added some book corners that I made out of cardstock. I saw a video, I can't remember who the video, anyway, I didn't want to add metal book corners to and detract from the blues, but we'll have a look. So again, mostly this is frosty, snowy, glittery, and a few touches of red from Frosty's mittens. So I've got it closed with this vintage seam binding, and there's lots of gorgeousness hanging out here. Some ribbons, some fibers, some buttons and doodads. So let's have a look. Inside is the original book. The inscription hasn't been touched. It's in excellent shape, and I've kept the story in order the best I can. Well, yeah, I didn't make any mistakes. So here's book page. This is ledger page with a little lace tab on it. Here's a little pocket. I got some of these issues from one of the large little golden book, Frosty the Snowman. And I've done a little bit of stenciling on the edge and added some blue ink to make it look, you know, wintry. And inside is a tag. Again, I've done some more inking with these swirls, and it's on scrapbook paper. So I've stitched the image onto card to make that a little more substantial. Just a little bit of paper to decorate the bottom here. This is the a cover from a children's magazine, and I've added this little tab of fabric, a little flocked sticker, a little punch out, and some pearly decorations to cover up. There was an address there, and there's another little tab with some glittery accents there. This was made out of a index card. Some bling on this paper that again I've edged in blue ink, distressed blue ink. So here's the back of that. Is this the back of it? Nope, that's another page from a magazine, and it has a snowman on it. Added this little fabric tab. Kids skating. This is a card, Christmas card. I've added some blue ribbon here and a little shiny white snowflake brad. This is paper doily. Got a little folded there. Here, we'll fix that right up. Paper doily. There's another image that I fussy cut out of the bigger book and put it on this paper, and added a couple of tags that has this white polka dot ribbon. This is a stiffer paper. Did a little bit of stenciling here, and here's a little pad of paper that has snowmen on it. Children's magazine with a tab. This is just a little pocket, and I've done some random stitching on there, so you can tuck something in there, do some journaling. This is it's a graph paper, but it's for designing, I want to say for designing rooms or layouts of rooms, and I've done a little ruffle of white netting, and this vintage trim, which is really pretty. A couple of tags that are sewn right in, So there's some paper there. You can journal on both sides, and I've done a little bit of stenciling there. This is a coaster. I've got fabric, some netting, and some vintage buttons that I've hand sewn. A little bit of ribbon that has stars printed on it, and I've added a little bead and a little button. There's a little sticker. Page, book page. The strings are long in there. Here is a little pocket, and I've just added some sequins. And this is words cut out of the bigger Frosty the Snowman book. And you can journal on both sides. And here's a little tag with some shiny fibers. And this blue ribbon has some silver snowflakes on it. Some vintage trim, and here's the other side of those tags. That's a snowflake, and it's also a tuck spot. That's hand crocheted. This is an index card that I've inked up and stitched on some vintage seam binding, and this is also a tuck spot. This is a, oh sorry, this is a altered paper clip, and it's got a postage stamp of some kids making a snowman. It's on some paper, and I've added some bling. Standing up to do this, and it's out of the range of my bifocals, so it's hard to see. Magazine paper. Cardstock. This is the back of that paper doily. This is just a piece of paper that I've clipped on here with paper clip and some fabric. A little bit of bling on the tab. A little punch out with some sequins. More kids skating. Lots of blue ink happening throughout here. Little die cut. Here's another seam binding index card on yet another altered paper clip. So that's a British stamp, actually. I think that's super pretty. Magazine. This I think this was actually like papers from the inside of a book. And there's Frosty. Now we're into the second signature, children's magazine. Again, another card with a little velvet ribbon at the top. This is you can use it as a tuck spot. I wouldn't mess with it. I just thought it was so pretty. So that's the title from the bigger Frosty book, little fussy cut. And this is a Christmas ornament that I cut in half. More stenciling. There's those kids. Whoops. Ledger paper. This came from the bigger book. This is a tag that I made by fussy cutting one of the kids out. This is also fussy cut kids, made a little pocket. Here's another altered paper clip. Again, it has a postage stamp with bling and an index card with seam binding. Children's magazine. This is a little tab with some bling. This is an image from the book with a little fabric cluster, and I put in an index card with some seam binding. A little more bling. Children's magazine. This is a pocket, and on the back is an envelope, and these are words cut out of the bigger book, and you can journal on both sides. The envelope, you can also put something in there. Has a little sparkly gem and a snowflake there. More white netting and that blue trim. Oh, love it. Here's a tag, and I added some more snowflake postage stamps and a little flocked sticker. So there's the kids. Another tag, and inside as this card, I've used snaps to make the, you know, little, not the pull tab, but, you know, little hole. And this coffee dyed paper, and again I've added a little blue button there. There's another tag and fabric cluster. Another tag with all of the stamps are different. Everyone has skiing or snowmen, something snow related, but all of them are different. So that'll be interesting for someone to examine. Another tag. This is from the book. It says it is magic. And there's the kids. And it has some shiny fibers on there. On the back is another envelope. And another kid. Vintage children's magazine. This is just a little piece of card that doesn't want to come off. It's just folded in half. It has something that looks snowy to me. Coffee dyed paper, children's magazine. This is little notepad, so it has some pages with a snowman, but it's also an envelope that I made out of scrapbook paper that has snowflakes on it. So that's some vintage lace sewed on there, and I've just got it clipped on with a paper clip and some seam binding. These are little triangles, so you can, you know, tuck stuff in there, tuck a photo, whatever. And that's on the back of some ledger, book page, card. This has got a little bit of a lacy stamping on it, and I've got just tucked into this crocheted snowflake. This is another cluster with some bling on the tab, more bling, and that's it for Frosty the Snowman. So if you are watching this video, then this has been listed on my Etsy. You can go over and take a look if you're interested in purchasing it. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll be back again soon.